Hi guys, I'm bringing you a new series, The Paperback Mentor. The reason why I've picked this series, The Paperback Mentor, is because I'm aware that there are so many people who love to read but don't have the time to read, and so many people who need a mentor but do not know how to access one. So I will bridge the gap between these in this series, okay? We will look at several books to really get you started on your journey if you're looking to be a successful entrepreneur. We will look at recommended reads, we'll look at articles, we'll look at blogs, blog sections, but really I wanted to start with distinguished authors who touch on the subject of success. And the first paperback mentor who we'll discuss today is Horatio Alger. Horatio Alger writes a book and his main character is phenomenal. His main character rises above every single challenge and at the end of it becomes a very, very successful individual. The first challenge is like environmental. His environment was very, very poor. He came from a very poor area. Everyone in his neighborhood was either a liar, a thief, a pickpocket, or they just worked extremely hard for very little gain, so in the form of, say, shoe shining. Now, Horatio Alger's character saw this not as an opportunity to be defeated. Even his situation is even worse than his environment. His mother was dead and his father was out at sea. So really his key support system was missing. And for a lot of us young entrepreneurs, we may say, we don't have key support. We don't have people who are ready to back our projects financially or even mentorship wise. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't have to be something that limits your dream. That doesn't have to be something that means you can't make it. In this book, this guy rose above every single challenge, and in the end, he made it. So this is why I've picked Horatio Alger's book to start this series off. First things we learn about the character of a successful person: honesty, integrity, personal values that see you through challenges, personal values that help you make choices. Guys, you need to make these personal values, solidify them now, so that when business challenges come, you're not sort of at a loss for what to do. It's very, very key that you know what you stand for at an early stage. If you say, I'm into fashion, I want to pick factories that treat their workers correctly, or I'm a financial individual, I'm into finance, I'm never going to dupe my customers, I'm going to keep everything, my books leveled all the time. And I think these are the personal values, like honesty and integrity, transcend every sector. So no matter what industry you're in, honesty and integrity will never go out of fashion. So that's the first lesson. Develop your personal values that can see you through any challenge. Second lesson, actually, that was because the first lesson was your environment doesn't matter. Your environment does not have to dictate where you go. Your environment doesn't have to limit you. You may not have the support. Your mum or your dad may not be in the picture. That doesn't mean anything in terms of where you can go. Okay, and another thing that Horatio Alger, as our paperback mentor for this week, teaches us is the power of leverage, the power of using what you have to get what you need. Yeah, so our character in the book, he had a house. Well, he had an environment that he could offer to his friend in exchange for tutoring. And this suited both of them very, very well, because his friend needed a house, a roof over his head, and he needed some education. So they were able to benefit of each other like that, a two-person developmental society. And I think this is something that we can all learn. There's people in your circle that can help you get to where you want to go. There's people in your circle who can teach you. There's people who, for example, today I went to go see my friend. She's very, very good at makeup. She's very, very good at editing. She's very, very good. She's just very, very good. And she has some really key skills in these areas that I may not have just yet. And so I said to her, would you be able to teach me? In exchange, I'm going to help her with her business plan, and I'm going to help her with her developmental side of things, business-wise. And can you see, in that way, we've created a society between ourselves that is developmental, that is progressive. We're leveraging each other's skills and saving each other time. It may take her 3-4 hours more to do it by herself through Google, and it may take me 3 or 4 hours more to do it by myself through YouTube. So in that way, we've saved each other time, and we're really mirroring this technique that Horatio Alger, our paperback mentor for this week, teaches us: leverage and using what you have to get what you need. So I think that's really key to think about. What do you have right now that you can offer to somebody, and what does someone have that you would love to learn from, or love to exchange value with them. So that's our third lesson. Fourthly, the power of education. Education, education, education is a constant theme through this book. You should never get into a position where you're bored of learning. If you're watching this now and you're watching it to this period in the video, then I can see that you're the type of person that loves to learn. Otherwise you would have switched off. These are key things that people have invested their lives in books. It's a huge investment of someone's own personality to put into a book, and for us to read it, to glean knowledge from that, is just only helping ourselves. The book is already written, why wouldn't we read it? So education is key in this book. Like I said, by the end of this book, we see the main character gain an ESQ title, and ESQ are the 3 letters you get after your name once you've successfully passed the New York bar. The New York bar is not an easy exam by any means, and he passed it. A guy who at the beginning of the book could barely read, by the end has got one of the highest qualifications in the whole of New York. Yeah, that's not a joke, and he did that through hard work. Hard work, hard work. He did what he needed to do to get to where he wanted to get to. Develop the heart of a successful person. What do successful people do? How can I mirror it? Successful people, truly enduring success comes from honesty. You can't make it any other way. If you're a liar or a cheat, it will all catch up with you one day. So you need to keep it honest and fair. Integrity will never go out of fashion. Okay. Secondly, you need to be able to continually develop, constantly look for ways to improve yourself. Education is, like I said, is a key theme, but it doesn't have to be limited to reading books. It doesn't have to be limited to the classroom. It doesn't have to be limited to formal education. Every time you go outside of your house, look for opportunities to learn. Ask questions. Open your mouth and ask questions. There's no point in sitting there thinking, oh, I don't know what's going on. Ask questions. That's how to have the key, the first step to an inquiring, a successful mind is asking when you don't know something. Excuse me, I didn't get that. Can you slow down? So I hope you've been inspired. I hope you've learned a lot from this week's Paperback Mentor. There's loads more to learn, but I really wanted to keep these short and snappy so you can gain the main thing.